Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. We're doing the full deck challenge 3 today, and this is the light green prompt. I need to get that done, and I'm going to use this card as my carryover, I think is what they call it. And then I usually will add a little heart in here somewhere. I don't know. Still thinking about how to add the heart in. So we're going to get this background completed on this size right here, which will go on a 6x9 journal cover, because that's what I'm doing, journal covers. We have a kind of a yellow green theme going on here. I've got some old map. I've got a doily here I got to spray up. Got some old map papers that I used the other week on another one of my challenges. I've got mowed lawn here. I've got bundled sage, because that's a nice light green color. I've got a, what do you call that, a hexagon stamp. I've got a square stamp, or not stamp, I mean punch. And over here I have a cool stamp set that also came with stencils and stuff here that I got from a magazine down at Michael's. I can't find that magazine anymore. Each month they'd give you a stamp set. Okay, I also have peeled paint spray, twisted citron spray, and I have a little bit, tiny bit of this left over of this Pure Sunshine mica spray, shimmer spray they call it. That's Dilutions brand. Okay, so let's get down to business. We have to start by figuring out what layer we need to be on the base, which would be, this is going to be my base layer. So I need to spray it up, and I'm going to do sort of like a green over here with like a yellowy kind of side over here. Okay, so let me get my deck cleaned off. I also have something to show you for your sneaky peek, so I'll do that as well. All right, this was yesterday's video. I finished it up. I didn't put any kind of a closure on it because I didn't think it needed it. It actually is basically shut. It might need a little bit of training. If I set a book over top of it, it'd probably fix that issue. Here was the 2 strings that I used. Since it had red here, I thought it'd be okay to show the red there. And if I left the back like it was nice and wrinkly, and I like that look. Okay. I didn't put any words up here. I kind of like just left the title there, and the airmail be the wording. I almost made it a steampunk. Oh, I was tempted. I sure was tempted. Okay, so here's our pocket up here, and I took those other 6x6s, and I just folded them in half, and then I just rounded the 2 corners, and I decided to just do them like that. We have our, what was that, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I decided to put that up there where I was saying I would leave that for them to write on, but nah, they can write somewhere else, I'm sure. So we have a one-way stamp, and I just have stamps everywhere. So here's another one of those 6x6s. And this one I just put a little piece of that map that we're going to use today. I've got postal card in here. And I put the world, since that's the world, I put the world globe paper clip there. Perfect spot, right, Tommy? I love the ship here because it looks like they're sailing all over. And then we had a few places where I had the clusters that I was creating. I decided to put this butterfly here because it pulls your colors back and forth across there. This, where they're dancing in Venice by the gondolas, I put there. And that went in there. That's like a train. And I didn't put anything in here. Some of these I've decorated in between the 2 halves, and some of them I didn't. Here's one of the pyramids down in Mexico. Chichen Itza, I think is what it is. And then here is this. Now I may get back in here and actually glue this side down. I did that with the other signature in the center because when you open it, all you see is this. You don't see the pretty bicycle. So more than likely, I'm going to glue that part down. And then you'll still have this little wing to pull up. And then you've got that tucked over here. I did a bit of stamping. In some places you can see it. I don't know if you saw it. And I had a stamp there. It was the same one. But I have stamped throughout. I put a stamp there. and here, and this was, I think you saw me put that in here. I put this as an addition, and that really brightened it up, brought some more colors in. Here I've got an airmail. That was the one that had the moon, and I've got the earth there, and the blues go with it, and the blues and the reds here. I thought that really blended. Plus, that's a circle. So I thought that blended so well together. And since this is like over there in one of these, it's like France, I decided to put this here as well. I love that pretty, pretty lamp. Here is that one stuck in there. And then here's one of the little envelopes. And I didn't want the from to be showing, so I put a stamp over top of it. And there's a couple of stamps here. And there was from this sticker pack. Here I did a little bit of stamping, and then that collage there. And I decided to put the plane here. I've got like an airmail stamp there. And then I've got the world and the clock. And I've got a stamp there. And this is just one of the 6x6s. And I decided to put this canoe one here because they're coming through the river. And then there's a gondola. So I thought that fit really good in this area. There's a bit of stamp work with one of the stickers. And then here is another 6x6. And I've got a stamp and two types of stamps. Let's put it like that. Here's that one I just left as a total page in itself. And here is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And I'm not sure what these places are. It didn't say on the back. Here's a bunch of stamps. These are two from the sticker pack, and the rest are stamps. And they really fit in with this page, I thought, really well. I've also got, so many colors. I've got the pinks going here, and the beigey colors going here. This here was a Central Park in New York. Now this piece, is it this whole piece? How did this work? No, it was this one. Okay, this whole piece right here, this part and this part, I didn't even have in the signature, y'all. I didn't even put it in the signature. Shame on me. I just found it sticking out, and I thought, why is that one sticking out so far? I pull it, and it's not even attached. So what I did is I took the paper, and I folded it in half, glued the two halves together, and did a punch there, and I made a tuck because I glued this part down, and then this part of the side I just left hanging. So that's how you can fix something if you forget and don't put it in your journal. Just make a tuck or something out of one of the sides. And luckily I hadn't decorated this half of it up at all. Now if you notice, I've got my family's photo right there because this one had some of the browns and stuff in it. That's the Twin Towers, isn't that a neat picture? And so it had some of the same color, so I thought, well, maybe that'll kind of pull those two together. This I made into a pocket over here. It was the only picture I actually glued down. I needed something on that page, I felt like. And then there's the little cluster. I thought that was cute. I got the airmail down here, so I did a plane and then a stamp. And then we have this one I actually glued down on this side. Because all you saw was that's what you saw when you opened it. Because these wanted to stay together. But I left this one a flap because it works that way. All right, here's more stamping and stamp work. Another pocket. I did a little bit of washi up in here. Did a little washi there. So I did add a little bit. Here's some washi as well. More stamping. Now these actually open up. I didn't show you on the other one. But it's got Roman here. It's got Paris. You could do a little writing there. And then it's got London. I thought that was cute. And then we have another 6x6. And I was going to make a tuck out of this. And I decided, no, I'm just going to glue it down. I just glued it down so I wouldn't have to bother with it. And then we have another pocket here with something in England. Something Bridge. London Bridge. And then back here, the last page, I have the bottom of the Eiffel Tower tucked in this one. Now, I could actually glue there because that makes a pretty cool little pocket going that way. But I did a bunch of decorating. I had that sticker for, like, I guess luggage or something. This was one of the stickers from the pack. There was a stamp. And then these were the stamps in a little container that she gave me. And then I did a little collage with washi down here and stamping. So that's how I turned that out. And on the road again works really good because over here on this side, I made a pocket out of the Volkswagen Beetle. And then down in this pocket was the train stuff and New York. So there we go. That's how I made that little journal up. And like I said, it was like a freebie. I made everything out of packaging. And then what Miss Tommy had sent me. Paper crafting with Miss Tommy. Now, I could put some washi tape over this and cover that up. I'm still debating that. So, but anyhow, that baby is done. Okay, so with this, I want to decal edge it. So we'll do that first. And, ooh, then we'll get into the spraying and see what I can do. Some of it is going to be with the pads, and then another half of it, part of it will be with spraying. So we'll see. I think I have to do the actual pads first. Let's see what I can get there. I kind of wanted to play with having a little bit of honeycomb and a bee on here as well. I don't think bees go for calla lilies, which is what these are, calla lilies. So we'll see. I want to thank everyone so much for coming by to visit and seeing what I was going to show you today. Now, this full deck challenge, it's put on by Shanuki Art. I should say hosted by Shanuki Art. And she's been doing them. This is full deck challenge 3, so she's been doing them for quite a while. All right. So what we want to do is have, I believe, like the lighter shades up toward the top. Yeah, because I've got some light greens going on in this. And what I wanted to do, I might use this one more than I use this one. But what I wanted to do is cut these out in squares and have them kind of arranged in like a little triangular system down here that's going to hide the bottom of these flowers down here. So that's the idea there. Then I'm going to have something behind it because it's going to be actually like a checkerboard. And I just wanted to add something different. I wanted a pattern or something back here. So it may be we go with the bundled sage here first, because that's going to be at the top. And I love this color because it's sort of a greeny color. I'm not going to worry about sky. I mean, whenever you think of flowers out in the grass and everything, you think of sky. But I'm not going to go that route since my color is light green, and that's how I got to do it. Now, I haven't worked out in my head where the card is actually going to be. That may go in the upper left here, because what I want to do is play around with that and create like a bee. That's why the hexagon stamp is here. I want the bee to be on it. All right, and then we're going to go in with the darker shade. This one's about had it. It's almost curled up on itself. You can see all the stamping I did on this paper. Isn't that kind of cool? For the journal I just showed you. Now this is the mowed lawn. I forgot to look at that. And so that's going kind of down in here. I guess it could be termed light green. No, it's not quite a light green. But that's okay. There's going to be a light green over top of it. This is just the background, so you'll notice it better. Okay, we're going to give it a little bit of a spray as well. So I think those two colors are done. And now we get to get in here and spray. And let me put that back on there. And let me get set up for that. I forgot to bring scattered straw over here. Okay, so scattered straw is going to be on this side over here. I'm hoping this doesn't splatter too much. Goodness gracious. Is it coming out? I think I'm tilted too far. Whoop. I'm tilted too far because it's almost empty. Okay. We'll do that. And I actually have some on the board here, so I'm going to pick some of that up. Yep. That'll do the trick for me. Okay, and then we have some peeled paint. Now, I've also got a little doily kind of system that I want to put underneath of the squares I'm going to create. So, I think I'm going to go with, with this one. Now, if I spray a little bit of this, I'm fine with that. I think that's about all I need to do. So, I put a little extra, whoops, in there. And I need to wipe my mouth off. There we go. Gotta dig in the trash can for some extras. Okay, then I have Twisted Citron. And I thought maybe that would be a color I'd add up here because it's sort of, it's not exactly light. Let's see if I can get a little mixing going here. Now, these oxides are going to do oxidation on me, and I'm not that happy about that, but I don't think I can get around it. That's why I try to get a lot of sprays. Stain sprays, spray stains, I think is what they call it. This type. Because they don't oxidize. Now, if you like the oxidization where you've got a little bit of a difference in there, that's good. All right. I think that's going to work good for a background for me. Now, this one is fine because it's going to go down here. You'll be able to see a little bit of difference behind it. And then, this is the one I'm going to have a bee stamped on. I'm trying to figure out what color I might want that to be. Let me think about it. All right, I want sort of a light color, so I'm going to go with my Lost Shadow, and I'm just going to kind of pull it. If I can pull it. It hasn't dried out on me, has it? Good grief. Okay. That's better. Okay. So that's a very, very shallow color. And that's kind of what I want. So we're going to go with that. And I think everything else on here is done. That's almost dry. That can dry for a second. I'll clean off my board. Now here was something else I forgot to add in. I think I'm going to use this as well. I think. Because I was putting those flowers over top of some of the other pieces. I don't know, that card may go down in here. But I kind of wanted to put the bee over top of it. Alright, Jody sent me this cute little bee set. So I am going to pull this bee out because I think he's the perfect size. Put him on here. And stamp him with some VersaFine Onyx Black. I have not used this stamp yet, so I'm going to actually stamp him over here to the left. See if I can season it a little bit. Oh, that turned out right nicely. So we're going to get back in here with that. And we're going to put it right in the center of this. Okay. I've been working on this report, I guess you could call it, that I wanted to share on my Facebook page, but as of yet, I haven't because, and I've been writing it for like 2 months, and I've been setting it back, thinking about it, seeing if there was anything else I could add to it, because I've been writing this story about once they got over here to Virginia, what all they did, or where they lived, and that kind of thing. Well, I'm trying to add in everything in chronological order. You don't know how hard that is. And I'm trying to remember if there's anything left in any kind of notebooks that I've got, or things like that. So I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else that I need before I wrap it up and post it. All right, I'm putting that bee right there in the center. His little legs will be at the bottom. Ooh, there we go. And now all I'm going to do is ink around the outside edge. And he should be done. And I'm just going to use some of my scorched timber to give it a good shadowing. So anyhow, I was asking Mom today, because Grandma Rhoda had told her about it being so hard to get over the mountain and her having to leave stuff behind when they came over by wagon. But my problem was I couldn't figure out when they would have done that. Came over by a wagon. They came with a wagon train. There was people that came along and drove cows over to, I guess, Elkton, Virginia, or West Virginia. And then there were others that came along just to help with the cattle drive. And I've been working on this, and it's racking my brains. It's just been racking my brains, trying to work it out in my head how they would have done this and when. Because Grandma had just had one of her sons on the in November of 1929. Then she's got they've made it over to Virginia with all the children, because they came over by wagon, brought what they could, settled down in the house, and then they came back over by train to gather up all the rest of the children, or all the children, I should just say, and then bring them over by train. And then by that time, everybody was over in Virginia, because Picture Taken D had taken a photo of my little Aunt Reen in her coat. And they he had sent it over for them by February something of 1930. So I'm taking it, they were over here by then. If you see what I mean. I don't know how long it would have took them. I mean, she would have been recovering. She wouldn't have came over in the wagon when she was pregnant. I cannot see her doing that. And then she had just had the baby. So I don't know. She could have left the baby with one of her sisters. And I don't know whether to go and spray with this, or I might go ahead just to have a little bit of a spray on here. Oh gosh. It's not wanting to spray. Is it locked up? Ugh. Alright, where's my tissue? That's where the card's going to be, so I don't mind that it's kind of yucky right there. I did want a little bit along the edge, but I don't think it's going to happen. What's wrong with this thing? So, yeah. Oh, there it went. I may just have to post it and let it be. I'm going to add a little bit of water, because I want this to run just a tad. Okay. And then I'm going to blot it. I just want to have a little sheen to it. There. Now I'm going to go over it with a stencil. You're saying, what all are you doing to that thing? I'm building it. I'm building a look. And I've got yellow that's going to be on this side. So I needed to have a little bit of a yellow over here. I don't know whether I should have put the mica over that part as yet, or if I should have done it the other way. So it is what it is. Okay, now I need to do some stenciling. And this little stencil came in that same stamp set. So I'm going to add some of those on here. But, so yeah, I'm still working it out. I might just have to let it go. I might just have to say, I just don't know, and just let it go. Sometimes that's the way it works. All right, I'm going to put some little honeycomb kind of working its way in over here on this side. This, I guess, I would like to have one of these plants going over top of this. But if worse comes to worse, I'll just do it like that. And then have that up here, which is kind of a cool look too. All right, let's see what color I might want to use here. I don't know that I want to go over top of this with green. Let me see. Let me try some vintage photo here. Where is it? There it is. Let me try some vintage photo and see what I get. So I want to go down about right here and start in. Yep, I can see it making a difference. Oh, yeah. Isn't that nice? I got a little bit of that pilling going on here. I swear. All right, I don't think I'm going to see that part down here. I may come out just a little bit further, just so it's not, you know, stopped. I think my paper's still a little wet, and that may be what's going on here. There we go. The card is up here, so that's, but I may want to have at least this pattern showing around the card. So let's go ahead and do that. Oops. Yeah, something like that. Because once that's down, yeah, I'll be able to see a little bit of it. That's good. That's good. Like that. All right, I got this little piece of vellum or something. I can't remember where I got it, but I'm going to glue this bee down to it and have sort of a little frame that's going to form around the outside of this. Now I got to hit it just right because there's not that much here. So is it going to be like that? Maybe I can actually go down here. There's just a little tad of it that's going to show around each edge of it. So there we go. And then I'll get in here and I'll cut it. Just like that. And it's just so you've got your colors playing with each other, basically. So I've got the yellows and the greens and all that coming in. So this, I'm going to go ahead and glue it down to my card. I do think that I'm going to splatter this. I want to do something else with the doily, And then I wanted to do a little bit more with this. And one's going to be in one corner up here, and the doily is going to be in this corner down here. So these will have the same treatment, basically. And what I want to do is use this tarnish brass spray stain. And I'm just going to shake it up, but then I'm going to actually come like this. And I'm thinking it looks like honey. You know, it doesn't matter if it goes over the bee. And then we're going to go just like this, just so there's some of the same colors mixing. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, I'm coming in with my scorched timber, and I'm just going around each edge here of the squares. I thought they needed that. You might not want to add that so it would blend in more. It just depends on what look that you go for in your head. Each person has a different look that they like more. Me, I like a frame. Now, this is not quite all the way dry, so I might just try to kind of soften up a little bit of it. Now, I'm thinking I want to do something on the outside edge of this bee. Let's see if I can put a little bit of that on here. I don't think it transferred. That's okay. It was just a thought. Oh, I got it on the back side of there, though. Let's see about the bee. Oh, I got a few spots. Why not? There we go. Yeah, it didn't have to be solid round little splatters. With a bee, it's more of a drop. And that kind of reminds me more of a drop. Actually, I like the texture of it. Now, the outside of this card, I want to do something too. I don't know if my metallic luster iced espresso is going to work around the outside of this coated card, but we're going to see. We're going to see if it'll work. It's just to give it something more. If it looks like you've got too much on there, you can actually rub off. I just didn't want it to be like a raw looking card. I thought maybe this might help it blend into the background better. Whee! I'll tell you what, it's warm out there today. Me and Mom, we went out to Verona there and got a nibble, and I cashed my check from the shop and got me some money to go to West Virginia with. But it's nice and warm. And she said she's got plants. She's got irises coming up that's about 3 inches tall down there. She's got lilies coming up that are about 1 inch or so out of the ground. I said, I thought it was supposed to be a bad winter. She says, it was. So I don't know what's going on. Okay, so now it's coming down to, we got to figure out where our plant wants to be on here. So let's get on here and figure it out. So I know this is all one plant. This is another. That's another. That's a stem. So this one coming out will be almost right up to the top. So let's see what we got here. Whoops. And like I was telling you, I wanted this down here to cover it up at the base. But let's see about putting that one right there and coming down. I think that looks good. I'd also like to have one over there on this side, like that. And the card, now I might want to put that little one right there, to tell you the truth. And he's going to kind of be over top of that one, which is fine. This one can be like right there. And the card, tell you what, we're putting the card down first. Remember I was telling you about layers. I want this flower to go over top of the card. Okay, and I'm going to use some fabric tack. I know a lot of people are not going to go want to go into a background like me. I just like to play. Now, if you like one aspect of this look and want to go with that, you're more than welcome to it. But it's nice to play. It's nice to just get out there and see what you can do, what looks good, how you could go about it. It's always fun. Now, if you're making a book for yourself, you might want to go into all this extra curricular work. If not, you might want to just, you know, do a little bit of this or that and not everything. Now, I want it to be where it's overlapping that little bit of stem right there, and I like that it's going up into that card. You can actually see through it, to tell you the truth. I got one little bit there that may look good coming over that way. Yep. I don't know that I'm going to use this other plant at all. Let's put that right there. I'm just using the sticky that's on the back of these things. So, and these I can put in that other book that I'm going to work on. The one with the daisies, because they're yellow. Now this, I'm just going to get these out and look at them and see if I think this can work with the look I'm going for right here. I don't think there's any light greens. Well, that's a light green. Right there. And then I've got this one. That's not a light green. I don't really think I've got too much. There's a eucalyptus. That's sort of a light green. I don't know that I think this look will go. I may need something down here in this corner, so it might be that I do something like that. Is that one? I guess that's one. Okay. So we're going to use this one if we can use any. So he's going to be over here in the wings waiting. Okay, so I needed to get the plant down first before I put the doily down. And then the little checks are going to come down through here like this. Okay, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the doily. I guess I'm going to just go ahead and try to use this. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off because I don't want to have to guess where I'm going to be gluing. Let's flip it. And I can use this little part for something else down the road. I'll finish doing it, spraying it whenever I get around to that point. Okay. There. Got to figure out where. I'll do the outside edges first. If I keep up with this, I'll have all kinds of journals for the shop, because all I have to do is figure out what I want to put on the inside of them. And I really think this is helping me out, because I can work the look into whatever I need it to be for that season that I'm working for at the shop. Okay. Let me figure out where I need to be here. I guess right there. Now, use this to dab at. That glue's going to activate that the background. Did you see that? That's okay. That a square could go there. All right, and those cover up all the bottom of the lilies, which is perfect, what we wanted. I do have a little bit, I'm probably going to go around the outside edge of this with the scorched timber. Let's go ahead and get that done, because I didn't get enough paint sprayed down here. So this will give it a finished look. Ooh, this is still a little wet. I probably should have air dried it with a heat gun, but I didn't do it. Okay. I should have went around the outside of this with a dark green. I had a forest green, but I have dark elements in it, and that's where I always look at a dark outside edge would go, and especially if I use this. This has like a brown bark on it, stem, so, and maybe I want to use it for that. Now here's where we're going to go with our little squares, and let's see how she looks. So I'm going to start down here in the corner. I just thought this would give it a different, kind of a different cool design. Like I've got ridge on these two. Oh, okay. Let me go down here. Put that one in that spot. That looks about the right distance apart. Some of these places I recognize. This Cub Branch. It's on this square. Oh my gosh. My cousin, he took us up Cub Branch. And he used, it's an actual branch. It's like a little stream. He used it like it was a road. I mean, that was the first time. I mean, he actually went down out of somebody's yard in his car now. We were in his car. He went down into the creek that actually was flowing through a culvert to the other side of the road. And he goes into the creek and he starts going up the creek. And we're like, what are you doing? It was when I used to research with that other lady. And we're like, what in the world? Where are you going? He says, we're driving up to the mountains. Like, we were like, what in the world? We have never seen anything like that before. We were just totally amazed. And I'm wanting, and yeah, I think I might put that there. I'll probably put one there and one here. How about that? Let's see what that look like. I need to put something that it's a little off kilter. Let's put one here and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know that I don't like it being in a pyramid design, though. That's the only thing. And then, let me check. I don't like the red in that. Let's see. I'll keep playing here. So let me see what I can do with this. Yeah, but he took us all the way up. She was in the back seat trying to take photos, and she said every time she tried to take a photo of us bumping up through the creek, she said he would hit a big bump or a rock or something, and her camera would fly up in the air, and she'd take a picture of the roof of the car. It was so funny. And I was in the front trying to take pictures myself, which weren't all that successful. But he was going across things that were like waterfalls. And we could not get over that. We just could not get over that. Now this one, I'm going to actually cut. I want to put it over there, but I need to cut it to where it's just there at the edge. Let's do that. I did that backwards. So I gotta ink this edge. So yeah, He actually took us all the way up. And I don't even know what kind of car that was, but it did a good job. It was just going right on along where he wanted it to be. Okay, now. Still trying to figure out if I want one over here on this side. And I think I'm good. This one's just a little piece. Not quite big enough. So, let's see about doing one more. Alright, I made me one more little piece to go over here. Because it may get covered up by the leaves of this eucalyptus or whatever that thing is. But it'll give us a look. Alright. There we go. I can get that glue off of there before it reacts to my background. Okay, now, we're not going to use the whole thing, I don't believe. Or would I want to do it like that? Or like that. This is probably the better way. I like where you can see the plant or the comb coming through there. But sometimes you have to forfeit some of your pieces. Does that look good? What do you... Now this is clear. You won't see that white. So it may be that I can see everything that I'm wanting to see through there. So let's go ahead and go with it. I don't want this down because it'll stick to that. And I shouldn't need this anymore. So let's cap that. And see what we can do here. I get these at Hobby Lobby. They're the Paper Studio. So whenever they have a sale on Paper Studio stuff, I always try to grab quite a few different things that I'm interested in. Okay, so let me grab it here. Now, where was it I wanted to have it? About like that? I think so. So let's go down with it. Now, I can't quite make out my honeycomb through there, but I'm okay with that. Like I say, you have to you have to give up on some of your look to achieve the overall appearance, right? I'm just trying to cut off that little bit of hangover. There we go. Okay. Now, our look is done. It is done. Does everybody like it? The color, I mean, I might have to go under some things here with... It's still wet. That's the problem. So I may put a big, heavy weight over it and see if I can get the puckers out of it. And other than that, I really like it. I've got my light green going on over here. Got a little bit of light green in the flowers. I wanted to tie in the yellow with honeycomb and bee. And then I've still got light green down here at the bottom. I really like how it turned out. Because I've got the colors kind of like this nice bluey green down here. It goes really well with this bluey kind of green in the map up here. I have a little bit of red in it. But, you know, she said that was fine. And there's a little bit of blue around the card. And there's a little bit of blue, like in the words in some areas where the rivers are. Like there, Breeden Creek. So, everybody, I hope you appreciated this and got some ideas from it. And I will talk to you again soon, all my subscribers and viewers. I thank you for dropping by. And everybody take care. Bye-bye.